Last Wednesday was National Organ Donor Day, and I'm joined by a brave little girl here, Avery. She has had 9 corneal transplants to help her see. We're also joined by her father, John, and also Alex Teska, and she's from Eversight in Ann Arbor, the organization that really orchestrated some of these transplants. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
At this hour of the morning. So first, let's start with you, Alex. Tell me a little bit more about this organization.
Yeah, so Eversight is the state's eye bank. We coordinate all of the cornea transplants for the state of Michigan. Yeah. So we recover tissue from folks who are willing to register their decision to donate. We evaluate that tissue in our lab in Ann Arbor, and we find a home for those tissue for transplants for cornea recipients like Avery.
Yeah, and Avery wants to talk this morning. She's excited to be here.
Yes.
So John, tell me a little bit about her story. I mean, when did you notice that she was having difficulties?
We actually found out the day she was born that she was going to have vision problems. The doctors came into the room. We were in, the eye doctors came in and told us that they thought she had Peter's anomaly and kind of referred us to specialists after that.
Wow. Did you have any idea, though, I mean, the road ahead and what
we
it would
didn't.
mean for her?
It was actually a big surprise. Before she was born, we learned that she was going to have neurological issues, and so we were waiting to hear more about that and how we would handle that going forward. So it was a huge surprise to learn that she had vision problems also, and we were told up front that it was going to be a long, a long journey with a lot of ups and downs. But even being told it, it's been a lot.
And I was just asking you before we went, I mean, how would you describe where her eyesight is now and what the transplants have really meant for her?
She does have vision. She's legally blind, but she does have vision up close. She can read up close. So it's been great. We've taken so much input visually. Sometimes we underestimate that, and so she's able to experience really a large part of life that otherwise she wouldn't be able to, so we're really grateful.
Yeah, and Alex, as I understand, corneal transplants are some of the more common transplants. What can you tell me about them?
Yeah, cornea transplants are the most common transplants. They're the most successful transplant. You can donate your corneal tissue even if you have bad eyesight. That's a common misconception out there, that if you have poor eyesight, you can't be an eye donor, but that is incorrect. The corneas don't come into contact with blood either, so there's no matching like a regular organ transplant would have. Yeah.
Okay. And talk to me a little bit more, and I'd love to hear both of your perspectives on this. I read a study recently that parents don't really talk to their kids as much as you would think they would about organ donation in general, and this becomes an issue for little kids in particular, because if kids aren't doing it, if they're not on the donor list, then other kids can't reap the benefits, right. Of the organs.
Yes.
How concerning is that for you?
It is a concern. I think, we have 62% of the state registered as donors in Michigan, and that's fabulous. But I think the gap that we're feeling is you need to tell your family and friends about your decision to donate. Families need to have that conversation. People need to know your wishes of what you'd like to have happen. But, at the end of the day, when you sign up to be a donor, you're helping people like Avery. You're providing sight. Yeah.
And John, you're a parent. I mean, the parental perspective on that.
I think, I mean, there's so much stress you have or worries you have as a parent. When you get into this, it just, is that much more. And so having people out there who are willing to be donors is a huge relief and a huge help. And I think, like Alex said, it's just about hearing the message. So the earlier, as far as talking to kids, the earlier they hear that message, the better, and the more likely they'll, it'll sink in and they'll make that choice.
Sure. What's ahead for her?
Hopefully some stability. Her last cornea transplant was 3 years ago, and it's been stable, and it's worked really well for her. And she'll have continued checkups and continued follow-up, but we're hoping for stability.
Well, she's just loving being here, loving the lights, and she is adorable. And I thank you both so much for coming on. And really quickly, Alex, can you just tell people where they can go to find out more information if they'd like to be donors?
Yeah, so go to our website, eversightvision.org. We have a free breakfast coming up at the Arab American National Museum on April 21st, so come learn more about Eversight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, and we're going to post details to that on our website, WXYZ.com.